Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be reviewing the Juno & Co microfiber velvet sponge. I actually have been wanting to pick up this sponge, but one of my viewers actually kind of suggested, well, she didn't kind of, she asked if I could review it, and I was like so down because I have been wanting to pick it up, but I didn't know if like my viewers were interested in a review. But I personally wanted to try it out because honestly, like when I saw this sponge for the very first time, I thought that it looked hard from like the people that I was watching the video from. If you look at it, it just doesn't seem like it would be a soft sponge, but it actually is pretty soft. I wouldn't say that it's as soft as a beauty blender or even the Morphe sponge, but it is pretty soft. It's definitely not hard like I felt that it was. And after I had purchased this, they sent me an email maybe like a week later, and they actually released new shapes. So if you're not into this shape, you may find a shape in their website that you might care for. They actually have one that looks just like an egg, which is similar to the beauty blender. So if that's kind of like the type of sponge you prefer, definitely check them out. This sponge does retail for $6. I ended up picking up two just because I figured that it would be a lot more affordable shipping wise if I bought two versus one. So I ended up buying two. They each cost $6. I ended up saving $1.20, I believe, because I did use a discount code. I do not have a discount code. This video is not sponsored. I bought these myself. I use NIKKIE tutorials code. I'll have it linked down below in case you guys are interested in buying the sponge. And then shipping was like $3 and some change, so it's like half of one sponge. So if you're interested in buying one, I'd highly recommend you buy more than one, just so that it's makes sense shipping wise. Just my thoughts. Anyways, let's get into it. Also, shipping was really fast. I felt like I got my sponge within a week. I saw some reviews, people saying that it was like taking a month. I don't know, maybe that's kind of what happened after NIKKIE tutorials, because she has a huge following and she probably sold them out. When I ordered them, it only took a week for me to get, so just wanted to point that out. So the back of the bag, it says, if you're looking for a more natural airbrush foundation finish, the Juno microfiber velvet sponge is your go-to. Made with velvet soft microfiber bristles and a slanted edge. Controlled stippling, the Juno microfiber velvet sponge provides buildable coverage fast. And the materials is hydrophilic polyurethane, antimicrobial microfibers. Yes, I'm pretty sure that I totally butchered all those names, but again, we're talking to me. It is latex free. There's like a fire symbol. I don't know what that's about. Maybe they're saying it's flammable, so I don't know. And it's cruelty free, so just wanted to let you know, FYI. This sponge right here is dry. This sponge right here is wet. So as you can tell, it does double up in size. I didn't think that it would, but it actually did. When it's dry, it feels a little harder. It feels a little stiffer. And then when it's wet, it doesn't feel as stiff. It doesn't feel as soft either. I mean, it's definitely soft, but it doesn't feel as squishy as other sponges that I normally gravitate towards. But still, I do like that it has like this slant right here, because it just makes it easier, you know, under the eyes. And then it's pointy. I struggle so much with sponges being able to fit in these corners. I feel like I always have to go in with a brush just to kind of blend things out. I'm gonna go ahead and wash this off. I'm thinking of doing half my face with a stick foundation and half my face with a liquid foundation, just to kind of see how this sponge really works with both of them. And I'll be back. I'm going to go ahead and start off with the Makeup Revolution Stick Foundation. I really like how this foundation looks on my skin. So I'm choosing foundations that I already know how they look on my skin versus foundations I've never tried. So again, I'm only going to do half my face with the stick and then the other half with liquid foundation. I'm just going to go ahead and use like the rounded part versus the slanted part. I feel like I want to save that for the concealer. Wow, so this is one coat and this is just like blending it out with the sponge. It looks really nice, honestly. It doesn't look cakey at all. It wasn't hard to blend out. I feel like it blended out so easy. I feel like there isn't really a lot of product on my sponge either from the stick foundation. As you can tell, it's pretty like clear. Not clear, that's not like the proper word, but I feel like it didn't absorb as much product on the sponge. But then again, I did use a stick foundation, but so far I really liked it. And honestly, this right here is like my biggest problem area all the time with foundations, concealers, and sponges, and it blended out really well here. I thought that I was gonna struggle, but I actually didn't. It looks really good. So far I'm liking it. For this side of the face, I'm gonna go in with the Catrice HD Liquid Foundation. As many of you know, if you watch my channel, I really like this foundation. I just don't like the packaging. I want to buy like 100 of these bottles because I'm that obsessed with this foundation. The packaging drives me nuts. Blend it out. Oh my gosh, I look like I'm going to a football game. Like, what in the world? Okay, we're not here for the foundation critiques. We're here to review the sponge. And the sponge on this side looks really good. Honestly, I feel like a lot of the foundation is still on my face. Normally, when I use another sponge with this foundation, it kind of tones down the coverage. It kind of makes it a little more natural. But right now, I feel like everything that I put on my face like is still on my face. It definitely blended out really easy, and I was able to get around my brows and also in between my brows. Like, that's one of my struggle areas as well with other sponges. I've gotten to the point where I just do my brows last just because it doesn't make any sense to do them before foundation because they just go haywire. But it honestly did a really good job blending it out. You know what this kind of feels like on your face? If you've ever had like a bean bag, it kind of feels like that. I mean, it's not like hard or rough. It's like just like the noise, and like, I don't know if you can hear the noise. You probably can't. Like ASMR moment right now, but it kind of makes you feel like that, like you're kind of bouncing that on your face. It's kind of like weird, but I do like the sponge. It actually does a really good job, and honestly, it's $6, and that attracts me the most, and the fact that it actually works, because why would you spend $6 plus shipping if it doesn't work? It just doesn't make any sense. So now I'm gonna go in with concealer, and I'm just gonna use the Too Faced Born This Way concealer in light beige. And then I'm going to use the slanted part, which is this right here, to blend it out. Okay, so I just blended out this concealer, and I reviewed this concealer on my channel. It's comparing it to the Tarte Shape Tape, and I didn't hate it. I wasn't like the biggest fan because I feel like with the sponge that I was using, it wasn't giving me as much coverage as I'd like. I actually can only make that concealer work with a brush if I blended it out with a brush. But I just used the sponge. You watched me do it. And I can't believe how full coverage it looks. I mean, I feel like you can't even tell I have dark circles. I don't know if you guys are seeing this, if it's translating from your watching device, but this totally made this foundation or this concealer cover my dark circles. So I'm going to go ahead and set the under eyes with the powder. I just put all the powder on me. Okay guys, so before we close the video, I want to wash this and see how clean we can get it. I wash all of my sponges and my brushes with the Zote bar, which is this. I need to get a new one. I have another one, but you know what I mean. I just run the sponge or the soap, and then I run the sponge. And then I just rub it on the soap. Okay, here is the sponge. Looks brand new, brand spanking new. It cleans perfectly. But this is my finished face using the sponge, and honestly, I really like the sponge a lot. I don't really have any negatives aside from, you know, it's not as squishy as a beauty sponge, as a beauty blender. I wish I had one. I feel like I did, but I don't know where it's at. But like even this is the Morphe sponge. It's a little more bouncy than this. Like, I don't know if you can tell the difference right here. The Morphe sponge is $7 and this is $6. I honestly like them both very much. Would I repurchase the Juno? I definitely would repurchase this again. And I honestly do recommend it if you're in the market for trying out a new sponge and you want to test this out. I definitely do recommend you pick it up. And like I said, if I were you, I would pick up maybe 2 just so that it kind of makes sense with the shipping, you know. So that is it. I hope that you guys liked today's video. If you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Share the video with anybody that is interested. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know if you're gonna go try it out or whatnot. And I will catch you guys in the next video very soon. Bye.